Hello, my name is Allie, and I'd love to be your friendly mystic today. Today I am reading for the sign of, for the water signs of starting with Cancer. Seems easiest to go elementally for me. I was thinking about doing it the other way, didn't work. It just kind of, my guys are like, nope, this is the way we're doing it. Anyway, so welcome to my channel. Hi, I'm new here. I've been watching YouTube tarot readings for a long time, and have been a tarot reader for a couple of years now, and was kind of guided to start offering tarot readings on YouTube. Kind of step into the Leo spotlight. Hello Leo season, Cancer. You probably had a pretty rough Cancer season. I know it was rough for me. And my Cancer's in my 4th house. So Mercury is still in Cancer right now. So I think we're kind of getting out of it. Mercury will be shifting out of Cancer soon. So there's kind of like, I think, a wrap up of kind of like what we've been thinking about in regards to Cancer, and kind of the way we've been thinking about how we take care of ourselves and how we nurture and how we value nurturing, and then kind of looking at the Capricorn conjunct or stellium that's essentially happening with Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, and really kind of evaluating it from that perspective. Probably lots of fighting words with the with the Mars square Mercury, and moving into Leo season. I'm hoping that we can sort of take all of that and really bring it into the light and kind of rejuvenate, or hopefully that Cancer season was very rejuvenating, and now we can kind of move into that Leo space of being in the light, inhabiting, having done the self-work and hopefully taking that time for self-care. We can now step into a full expression of ourselves. Interestingly, I wasn't expecting to go on a little astrological tirade there. And if you're new to watching tarot readings on YouTube, I just like to say at the beginning of every tarot reading, take what resonates, leave the rest. Don't mangle a tarot reading to fit your life. Don't mangle your life to fit a tarot reading. It's not worth it. And also to not get caught, I also like to say to not get caught up on the time or the month that I'm releasing these videos. You will be guided, if you're resonating with the title of a video, even though it was released for a month ago, or like last year even, or, who knows how long ago, if you're resonating with the title, likely it's for you. And when you're guided to watch reading, you're guided to watch reading. Now, if you're sitting there binging YouTube tarot, you're going to get overwhelmed with messages. You're not going to be able to tell what's for you and what's not. So yeah, just kind of get centered, do some breathing with me. I was doing some meditations before I started of like waves going over my body, I feel very Cancerian. Yeah, and I was feeling this, this sounds really weird, but I was feeling this like energy in my breasts. It's not usual for me while I was meditating, and Cancer does rule the breast. So I was kind of thinking, now I'm thinking that it might be about, this reading might have something to do with how you nurture others, and the energy, the life force that you give to other people. I know for me personally, Cancer is my house of family, my 4th house, so it might have to do with your family. But just be aware of that you have to give yourself the nourishing first, and also maybe reflect on the nourishing you received, and how, like, especially when you were young, and how that's kind of reflected into your current reality, and how you decide to take care of yourself. What have you decided, what have you deemed yourself worthy of, and then how do you give that, and maybe how you either overgive or you were very like closed off from giving. But that's enough rambling. Let's get into your tarot reading for today. Let me pick out a deck. I think immediately I was thinking of doing. I don't know if you can hear me. Let me just pick the deck. Hold on. Yeah. Kind of immediately, I kind of gravitated for my Gaian Tarot. Yeah. Also, this month you're probably still going to be feeling a crunch, if not. You're still going to be feeling that crunch, especially as Aries kind of slows to the retrograde. There might be this feeling of like you needing to push, and it's going to come into conflict with like your emotional, like the way you feel and taking care of yourself. So finding that balance is going to be pretty might be very difficult, and also be is going to be necessary for you, Cancer. I think that's like always true for Cancer, is finding the balance between protection of the self and nurturing of the self, especially around others. And we still have that, yeah. The cardinal crunch is real right now. But anyway, let's get into your reading. Spirit guides, guardian angels, benevolent ancestors, please help me to connect to the collective of Cancer and communicate the messages in their highest good for the month of August for those that need it. Spirit guides, guardian angels, benevolent ancestors, please help me to connect with the collective of Cancer for the month of August to communicate the messages in their highest good for those who need it. You'll probably notice I don't. I have such a hard time keeping the order of that. As long as Sail to Bits, I'm happy, but it might annoy some people. I was kind of feeling annoyed almost. I was like, I bet someone else out there isn't really liking that. Alright, Spirit guides, benevolent ancestors, guardian angels, please help me to connect with the collective of Cancer and communicate the messages in their highest good in the month of August for those that need it. Okay. The Hermit, yeah, we're needing to take some me time. Let's check this Hermit out. Yeah, I love this. I love this deck. Isn't it beautiful? It's very balanced. It's very earthy. And I would say more feminine than a lot of the decks I use, but yeah, really feeling like we need to do some reevaluation interiorly, within. Let's do some of that. Really like getting in and understanding ourselves so that we may understand, our circumstances, others, the world around us, spirit, for God can be found in a mustard seed. The universe and all of creation can be found within a mustard seed. As within, so without, I'm getting tingles. I think it's important that people might think of this as self-centered, or kind of it maybe navel-gazy. Resist the temptation to really think of it as just you when you look within, and understand that the microcosm, the you, and the macrocosm, the you, are not different. And that will really, I think, open up the way you look at your interiority. Okay. Whenever I take this long to pull cards, I hear people like, hurry up. I got things to do. Explorer of Fire in reverse. So this deck uses just the straight elements. Let's see. This might focus better. I don't know. So this would be the Knight of Wands, if you're familiar with tarot. But yeah, I'm feeling that Mars squaring either your sun, moon, your rising, depending what planet you're reading this for. I tend to think of it as for the big three, especially if you're a Cancer moon. You're likely feeling this in a big way, but that's sort of just like needing to push, needing to go, really impulsive, likely to get into accidents kind of energy, or like be so concerned with pushing forward that they're not really thinking about like the actions they're taking and the ramifications of those actions. So we're in Mars is currently in his shadow, and he's gonna be retro. He's gonna be in Aries for 6 months, and like he doesn't get out of Aries until the end of the year 2021, I believe. So if you're just, I guess, really likely there are going to be things that need to be revisited. I really get that with the Explorer of Fire Inverse. And careful where your fire is. A Knight of Wands, and particularly this card, really needs to be very mindful of how they're using their fire energy in general, because they might burn things to a crisp, potentially themselves. And I think there's a conflict between this energy of, like, you know, needing to be contemplative and quiet, and this sort of yang, like, need to do, need to get done, need to do it now kind of feeling. All right, let's do this one. Oh, okay, Spirit said this one. And a 10 of Fire in reverse. Yeah, I'm getting that this, if you are really not mindful of the way you act and how you use your will, because that is the energy of Mars, that is like the will, the ambition, the action we take upon desire, we will devastate something, and maybe not something we want to devastate. Likely. So I think the challenge for this month is really going to be, well, maybe not this month, but as I'm reading it, maybe this is just for August for you, but whenever you find this, but maybe the challenge here is learning to be still and learning to be contemplative, even in the face of this, and using the contemplation to balance it in the first place. Any more messages for Cancer? I took a long time in the beginning of the speaking. I should probably put timestamps so people can just skip that, though. I do. Thanks for, if any of y'all watch the beginning and just skip it, thank you. I try to keep it under 5 minutes. I really do. Okay. Yeah. That one. 6 of Air in reverse. Let's see. So I see this group of people. So the air suit, I'll show you upright just so you can see what the imagery actually is. The air suit relates to the swords in this deck. Let's see. Will it focus? I don't know. The air suit relates to the swords in this deck. And the 6 of Swords generally relates to travel. Well, not travel, but like transition, transitionary time, of moving towards a new place, letting go of what was to embrace, like, kind of like, I would describe it as like moving from like an old timeline to a new one, like an old life to a new life. But okay, so this deck has, I don't believe that's what's happening here. And if I were to just kind of go off of like the imagery and kind of like what I'm getting from it, it might be that there's difficulty within groups in regards to this sort of fiery energy. Maybe even like a desire to go congregate and be with people and really, get things going in the physical. But now, I mean, like, if this is a reading during Corona times, now is not necessarily the best time to be doing that. Or if you are going to be doing that, knowing how to be careful about it. But right now, I kind of got, sometimes when I pull cards, I'll get the message, or like the impulse that, or the knowing that the message is in the companion book, because I can tell that this is one of those cards. Let's see. Go. Okay, You may be finding it difficult to find anything to be grateful for, and your mind may be foggy or confused. You may be looking for the worst side of every situation or caught up in a cycle of negative thinking. It might be a good idea to get away with your friends, where you'll find new perspectives on the issues that are troubling you. I greet the new day with the song in my heart. I'm reading the shadow side of the card, which is how this deck interprets reverses, which is how I generally interpret reversals. Generally, depends. But if I were to kind of with that message in mind, I feel like there's this like a major discontent with what is, which is what like all action is, all desire for action. Well, all action is born from the desire, and then the thing that we do to go get that desire is represented in fire. So I'm guessing that there's this sort of discontent and like real lack of clarity, and I think you get to that point, but from a lack of gratitude. But I feel like if you stay, and you might hurt you might hurt others in the process, in this lack of gratitude, but I'm getting that if you stay contemplative and quiet, not that you stay stagnant. Nobody likes stagnant, but if you're able to balance your needs and like your self-care with the actions you're taking, and you take the time to do this, it will be much easier to avoid this kind of impulse, this just destructive impulse to burn what you have, that cause forest fire essentially. Yeah, and especially if you're feeling that desire to like congregate, be with your people, be with your tribe. I think also part of that, maybe that desire is like, where is my tribe? I know that Cancer really thrives on a community. Well, not like a community the way Capricorn might. And maybe that's part of the crunch, is that opposition of just like wanting to be alone, but also wanting to be seen in the world. But yeah, find safe ways to congregate with people during this time. It'll be good for you. I think, as long as you're not overdoing it. And again, taking time for you to really examine you and your interior, so you can see what's in your exterior. Alright, any more messages for Cancer? I'm gonna pull one more card and then maybe get some clarification on other cards. Like, what would you be burning? Yeah, okay. A tower moment. So the tower in this deck is called lightning, and I think it's a really apt like nature or natural phenomena, kind of like, I guess, the earthly representation of a tower moment. And just there's so much disaster in this card. Yeah. So you can very deliberately take down a tower, or you can go in fire swinging and burn it down. Now, if you want to, if you wish for fire to be destructive, you can do that. It is useful for getting rid of, like, pushing things along really quickly. But you also have to be careful, because once you might be only looking for like a controlled burn, but you have to be mindful of like what actually will get burned if you just allow it to get out of control. And fire energy is really easy to get out of control. Take it from an Aries rising. Yeah. Take it from an Aries rising, not even an Aries sun, that exalted sun. It is very easy to let fire get out of control. And if I think if this tower is going to happen, even like if the tower is gonna happen regardless, like being here will give you the grace to kind of, well, to see what it is that Spirit is trying to teach you through that tower, through that lightning moment, the extreme just explosion. Like what what the universe is trying to teach you through it, and kind of accept it more gracefully or with like less anger. And I kind of like one of the messages for this card from the companion deck that I can recall off the top of my head, especially in the reverse, is being unable to see anything but destruction, and being in despair over destruction. Yeah. So let's get some clarification. We have a tower moment, a lot of impulse and impatience from Mars to really transform something that's clashing with our needs. Particularly to be with people. That's kind of something that keeps coming through. Okay. Can you clarify the lightning card? What is this tower for Cancer? Can you clarify the lightning card? What is this tower for Cancer? This deck is so big. I don't even know how I'm shuffling it like this. What is this tower for Cancer? Four of Fire. Four is like, I immediately got some sort of structure and stability. 2-2-2-2. So something's being shaken up in a major way. This one, like, let's look at her for a moment. Like, this is a very, like, in your power, but not needing to, like, exercise it upon others kind of card. It did come up in the reverse, so I'm thinking that whatever the stability in your life is related to, you could kiss it goodbye, for sure, for certain, should you remain in this kind of energy. That's sort of that impulsive energy. Let's pull another. Let me look at this for the Four of Fire as well. I usually don't refer to the companion book so often. You feel depleted and worn out and are buffeted about by the decisions and whims of others. You need to take a stand for yourself and celebrate yourself. You are strong and beautiful, and don't you forget it. Okay. Your challenge is to find your inner power and celebrate it. Okay. So I was kind of right on that, like, inner power, like standing in your own power kind of strength. And then that might be what's happening here with the Six of Air, is that letting other people speak into your life. Yeah, and letting other people kind of dictate what it is. And there's like a level of confusion and cloudiness around that. What is really good about this month, and I don't know why this came through. Who knows why anything comes through, other than it needs to come through. If you stay in this hermit mode, this is a really great month to get clear on what it is you want and why you want it. So that way when you actually go to seek action, go to take it, it will be in your highest good, as opposed to just like sort of ambition, like I get like aimless ambition with this. like just swinging, flailing about because you need to achieve on some sort of level to prove worth. I don't know. That's kind of maybe the Capricorn stallion that's happening. That influence. Um, yeah. And the drained energy, may like kind of be related to this card as well. The Ten of Fire is the Ten of Wands in traditional tarot Smith or Smith-Waite tarot. So yeah, kind of like I get kind of like you might be able to burn down a whole forest, but you will have left a huge path of destruction. Which maybe maybe this tower really needs to come down. But wouldn't you much rather do that in a deliberate, conscious manner than to flail about and burn it and not know that it was meant to leave in the first place? And then be absolutely exhausted. This month is probably going to be exhausting for Cancer. That's okay, Cancer. You can handle it. Okay. Let us pull. Yeah, and if this is, and we're clarifying the tower. This 4 of Fire in reverse, that inner power. The tower may be like the like I'm getting Lenormand tower kind of energy, like that those high ideals, those high ambitions, the ideas that authority has for what you should do, and being kind of at the whim of it, and having that tower falling will be an exhausting experience for you, but may also like give you the perspective of like, can I make it focus? I don't know if it's focusing. I can't tell. It may give you the impetus, or just like that, like, oh, actually doing all that really messed me up, and now I don't know what it is. I don't know where my power is anymore. It may show you that more clearly. Okay, let's pull for the Hermit. I'll pull one more card for the Hermit, and then we will pull some Oracle cards. I like to do Oracle at the end for advice, but let's do this. Alright, can you clarify the Hermit for me, please? Can you clarify the Hermit for me, please? Can you clarify the Hermit for me, please? Yep. 2 of Water. Okay. We have like great emotional balance here. Between like, and then I got your card, Cancer, but it's in reverse. This is the bottom of the deck. So yeah, this kind of out of balance. It's like, that's interesting. Before I read the 2 of Water, so the Canoe is the Chariot, is a Chariot equivalent in this deck, and the Chariot is really about balancing, maybe like in this way I'm thinking balancing like the feminine and the masculine aspect of the doing and the not doing, the exhale and the inhale. And the canoe goes faster when you paddle in rhythm. So if you've seen those like people who do dragon boat races, I think it's dragon boat, or people who do like what are those called? And they like not canoe, like when they're paddling. I don't know what those boat racing is, but like when you're whether you're doing oars with like everybody, you have to stay in motion with everyone, and you can't go faster by paddling faster. You go faster by paddling in rhythm and knowing the rhythm, because you'll just tire yourself out if you just try to paddle faster and also come into conflict with other people as you do it. But if we get into the Hermit, then we can kind of balance these 2 aspects of ourselves really beautifully and with so much joy and love. Like, what look at this card. I just get happy looking at it. I just want to hug a wolf. I just want to hug a dog. Oh, I miss my dog. But this is just like a really rejuvenating kind of feeling. This is how the hermit will make you feel when you get to be with you. When you get to be with you, this is how it feels. It feels really good. It's also making me want to drink water. I really want to go swimming. Imagining the ocean for meditation really made me just like, why am I not at the water right now? Oh, it feels really good. Okay. All right, we're at 30 minutes now. I think it's a great time to pull some oracle cards. Also, I'm at the end of my incense, so that's usually the incense is a great way to time my readings, I find. It really just makes me, really just like clarifies things for me. It's a great visual. Let's see. Okay. So we are going to read medicine cards. These are animal medicine cards. There's a lot of animal medicine like already in this deck. The Gaian Tarot. Oh yeah, also, if you want to know where to find any of the decks I use, all of the decks I'm able to find are in my description. All linked to. Some decks that I use are like, I won't go into it. But some of them are just I'm not able to find online any longer. But alright. And if you've liked the reading so far, if this has been resonating with you and you feel like this has been very helpful for you navigating your life, navigating your journey, please subscribe. Hit the little bell notification. Comment, give it a like, all that goodness. I like to say that, and this has definitely been true for me, as a tarot reader, just doing readings for people out and about in the real world, not in the YouTube world. Tarot reading is about an exchange of energy, and if this reading was for you, then exchanging that energy with me really can, I don't know if it heightens it per se, but it does. I think it's meaningful to do. Like you wouldn't get a reading from a tarot reader and not pay them or exchange something for it, right? I hope not. And even if they're just like, oh, can I practice on you? Which, I've done with people. I've like practiced on them. They're still like, you're still providing your time and energy to do that. So, yeah, I would greatly appreciate that if you felt like this was for you. And let me know what you got out of it. I really, really want to hear like what it is that is resonating with people. All right, let's pull some animal medicine. What animal medicine can help Cancer this month? What animal medicine can really help Cancer this month? Coyote. Upright. Coyote's such a little trickster. It popped out and was like reverse, and then it flipped like kind of the little dance. So I was like, I'm sideways. I don't know what you think I am, but I'm gonna say it's upright. So Coyote. Let's pull one more. Coyote is about the things that seem to knock us off our path, or the things that seem to get in the way of like our progress. Sacred detours. It's a great way to describe coyote energy. Coyote. Do you know a coyote? Alright, what animal medicine? This animal medicine? Butterfly. Ooh. Transformation. Trusting the process is kind of what I'm getting here with these two out on the table. Ooh, you can really see that the light is coming in on the blinds. I'm gonna see if I can make them a little less. It's kind of pretty. I hope it doesn't make it too hard to read. But I get this sort of cocoon state, and that brings me back to this hermit energy. It's just like the needing to cocoon and like the ability to accept a detour, accept that things are not going to go your way, especially not this month, or especially not in this time frame that you're watching this reading for. Yeah. So learn to be in like learning to accept, or even find that this is a blessing for you. It's going to be important. And you may feel like you're in this prolonged metamorphosis. I kind of get like Hanged Man energy off of this. I think a great symbol of the Hanged Man is a cocoon. Literally hanging upside down and stay like in this like in between, and an inability to move in order to actually make transformation happen. But all right, Cancer, I really hope that was helpful for you, and I hope I see you next time. Bye.